Hi, just Group L presentations, and in our presentations, we mainly focus on the one topic. With the globalization in the world, more and more corporations choose to branch in other countries, which could allow business to achieve maximize among the tax saving by leverage the very tax law of different countries. And this it tends to help companies pay the least amount of tax possible. Due to this philosophy, our group discussed this, and this is our content. The first part is plan the profit shifting across the board through the transfer pricing. The second is real world example. The third one is plan the proposal might help with discourage this type of tax avoidance. And fourthly, it's difficult in implementing these proposals. And finally, it's the recommendations. Now, let me move the first part. The first part is profit shifting across the border through transfer pricing. Before to discuss, we should to know what is the transfer pricing. The transfer pricing is a process by which company moves some of their profits offshore to minimize their income tax liabilities and attempts to minimize their tax liabilities, which is big tax avoidance scheme. For example, for a company, it can be established in country A and design product in country B, manufacture product in country C, and then apply of patent in country D, and finally sell this product in country C. The multinational company can reap substantial benefits from the transfer profit. Also, we should to know this will be lead to some benefit and drawbacks. On the one hand, it will maximize the overall after-tax profits and also will reducing incidence of customer duty payments and also transfer of funds in locations so as the suit corporate working capital police. By contrast, additionally cost, time, and manpower will be required to be exclusive transfer price and decide the accounting systems. And now my roommate will introduce the next part, which is give the example about this.
Thanks, Ziyao. A typical real-world example of a global company seeking aggressive tax avoidance through foreign subsidiary is Google's profit shifting, carried out by the double Irish with Dutch sandwich method. It is a tax avoidance technique which allows corporations to place their intellectual property in some low tax place, such as Ireland, and then shifts the profit legally through some other tax haven, such as Bermuda. Please look at the map. Alphabet, Google's parent company, is located in California, USA. However, Google has transferred its intangible assets, including intellectual property, brand, technology, patents, and more, to its Irish holding company, which had its registered office in tax haven, Bermuda. Also, Google has another subsidiary sales company called Google Ireland Limited, which is responsible for selling advertisement all over the world and obtaining revenue, including the US. Sandwiched between the two Irish companies is a Google Netherlands company, which is licensed from the Google Ireland holding company and then licensed to the Google Ireland Limited company. Therefore, Google Ireland Limited company must transfer the profit to the Google Dutch company as royalties, and the royalty will be paid to the Google Ireland holding. The existing of Netherlands company enable Google to avoid tax deduction on royalty payment within European Union members. Besides, the royalties received by Google Ireland holding company are not taxable, as the actual management is in Bermuda, where the corporate tax rate is 0%. In fact, the above processes are totally legal. To conclude, Google has achieved avoiding the Irish tax of 12.5% through a tax haven, and meanwhile avoid Irish withholding tax by adding a Dutch company between two Irish companies. Google successfully took advantage of tax loopholes all over the world to pay less tax. The double Irish regimes ended in 2020, but Google had operated through it for many years and has achieved maximum tax avoidance. Then, my team member Sonem will explain why the proposal might help with discouraging this type of tax avoidance.
Hello everyone, this is Sonam Chuki. I'll be explaining why the proposal might help with discouraging this type of tax avoidance. It is very important to maintain the implementation of the proper proposal that contributes to maintaining issues regarding tax avoidance and others. This slide helps to learn about the proper safety measure that can also solve issues regarding consolidation of tax strategy that can reduce risks of tax evasion. Consolidation of the group is an effective proposal that can contribute in maintaining discouragement regarding the tax avoidance process. So let us look at the next slide now. Now this slide explains the implementation of the consolidation tax that justify all issues regarding tax evasion and tax avoidance as well. You can see that growth factors of the organization are also highlighted potentially by this strategic insight, meaning that an aggressive taxation-related issues are also solved through this strategic insight. And you can see at the side, for your reference, there is the meaning of tax avoidance. That's it from my side. Thank you for listening.
Hello, my name is Som Topke and I'll be talking on difficulties faced while implementing this proposal. There are many difficulties that might come about, but to talk on a few, a company's profit may be subject to a second tax if they're already subject to a tax in a nation where the economic activity is taking place. So with this proposal, regardless of where your business is operating, the tax will be imposed on the overall revenue. So let's say a multinational company is operating in more than 5 countries. The tax, according to this proposal, you will be taxed on all the revenue earned from all those 5 nations. But there is also a chance of being double taxed in the nation you're also operating your business. Number 2, the proposal also brings inside the issue of sovereignty. There's also an issue of sovereignty when it comes to countries, different countries, because they would like to have full control over their taxation system and the organization that's going to operate in their country. Number 3, if corporate taxation were to be imposed uniformly across all nations, those with higher tax would be at competitive disadvantage. Let's say, for example, we have Nike in America, which is having a business operating throughout the world. So in case of Nike, if this proposal was imposed, they would have to pay tax on all the revenue earned from all around the world as per American tax law. And that will be a lot of money. So rather than paying that much money, a company like Nike would rather be registered in a smaller nation where taxation rate are much lower. So countries like America, Australia, where the tax rate is very high, company organization will try to avoid those countries and move to smaller nations, smaller in terms of countries offering lower tax rate. And lastly, there is also an issue of implementation. As the proposal might sound good in paper, but still there will be a lot of issue implementing this proposal. Even if all countries agree to uniformly agree on the proposal, there still will be challenges. This is because there will be difficulties in calculating tax, and also this encourages creative accounting to also take place. Thank you, and I'd like to hand over this to my friend Sonam to continue the presentation.
Hello, hi, this is Mamchuki, and now I'm going to continue with the rest of the presentation. So in this slide, I will explain some of the recommendations for the tax authority to stop profit shifting from high tax countries to tax haven. So one of the recommendation is to learn about a proper strategy to be used by a tax authority to control the loopholes in tax laws. And another one is having a proper preventive manners to help tax authority to solve issues of tax havens and tax avoidance. Moving on with on the other hand, this study also helps to learn about the strategic insight in maintaining tax havens and tax avoidance related issue potentially. So base erosion and profit shifting aspects are also being analyzed in this slide. So according to Aryutama and Parmentia, to reduce the risk of tax avoidance, the tax authority needs to solve all effective loopholes of tax laws. So this slide basically summarizes the entire study properly and covers few effective aspects of tax avoidance and tax evasion as well. So as based on the study, it has been stated that tax avoidance is now a basic problem due to globalization, as well as many global MNC companies are trying to use loops of law to take advantage of avoiding payable taxes. So this slide helps to collect all needed information regarding the intensity of profit shifting of international companies, as well as it also shows the consolidations related aspects that are also in this slide, are also been reflected in this slide. So this is some of the list of reference that we have used in this presentation. So this brings us end to our presentation. Thank you so much for your time.